Dear student, already we completed the 2 unit. There is a solution as well as the GOC, General Organic Chemistry. Okay, so now let's we go to that new unit. There is some basic concept of chemistry. So this is actually the 11th portion. This that is processed in the Tamil Nadu government of the state board book as well as the NCRT book. Okay, so both two book of 11th portion that is covered. Okay, so in generally the first in the entire universe that is possessed or it contain the matter. Okay, so there is a matter. So this is a matter is nothing but that is a can be felt. This matter can be felt by our five sense. That's called there is a matter. Okay, so it possesses there is a particular mass and also it occupies some space. Okay, so this is a matter that can be classified in two types. That is classified in two types. That is a based on that physical and chemical properties. So for example, the first case as a physical classification. Okay, so there is a physical classification, and that second as there is a chemical classification. That's for chemical classification. So the physical classification is nothing but there is a based on the physical state of matter. Okay, so let we go to that one by one. The first is there is a physical classification. So there is a it is based on the physical state. Based on the physical state there is a classified. So based on that physical state we can be further classified into three types. This physical classification is classified in, again there is a three types actual. One as a that is a solid, and another one is a liquid. Okay, that's a liquid, and the third one as a gas. So the physical classification is based on the physical state. That is based on that physical state that is classified in again three types. Okay, we know that the solid they have perfect the particular shape, or there is a the intermolecular distance or interatomic distance. The solid as a interatomic or ionic or interatomic or molecules. Okay, interatomic or there is a molecular distance as a highest, very lesser. Okay, interatomic or intermolecular distance is very less. For example, here there's a stone and chalk piece, etc wood. So those all are there is a the classification of solid. And that liquid here there is a interatomic or ionic or molecules. Okay, or molecular distance is little bit is greater compared to that a solid. So little bit is greater compared to that solid. And gas here, that gas as a interatomic or there is a molecular interatomic or there is a molecular distance as a very highest. Okay, one molecule to another molecule they have much more interatomic distance. In generally these three types of matter that is a based on that interatomic or molecular distance. There is a interatomic or there is a molecular distance. There is a distance. There is a gas as a much more highest than liquid. The solid has a very lesser distance. Okay, so that's why the solid is cannot be compactable or that cannot be compressible, because the solid already is a very closely packed. So for that reason, one molecule to another molecule or one ion to another ion, the interatomic distance is very less. So we cannot be applying the pressure. Okay, so for that kind of relation, actually the solid state is previously is given in the NTA syllabus, but nowadays the solid state as a deleted portion in the NTA, especially NEET syllabus. So from that solid state unit, we already studied or somebody studied. Okay, so we go to the next classification, especially there is a chemical classification. Okay, there is a second type, there is a chemical classifications. This chemical classification, it is based on that the chemical nature. So it's a further is a classified in two types. One as a the pure substance. Okay, one as a pure substance, and another as a the mixer. Okay, there is another as a mixer. So the pure substance and mixer. So this pure substance, it's a fixed ratio of mass of constituent. This is the actually there is a first case of the pure substance. This pure substance there is a fixed mass ratio. Okay, fixed mass ratio. This is a fixed ratio of masses of constituent in the pure substance. This pure substance is classified in two types. One as a element. Okay, one as a elements, and second category as a compound. For example, give an example of element very familiar, silver, iron, gold, copper, zinc, those all are there is a element. Okay, so that compound, we know that more than one element become the compound. For example, the sodium chloride, the sodium carbonate, okay, and the magnesium chloride, etc., etc. So similar like that of that, they have under the category of a pure substance as a element and compound. Okay, the next category as a mixer. Okay, that's a mixer. This mixer means must be the more than two component. More than two component, that is a very very must. Okay, for example, this mixer classified into two types. One as a homogeneous mixer and another as a heterogeneous mixer. Okay, so mixer, we know that there is a more than one type of substances must be. Okay, there is a more than one type of the component. More than one type of the component, there is a must be possessed in that mixer. This again classified as a two types. One as a homogeneous mixer, and another one is a second category as a heterogeneous mixer. So this actual the homogeneous mixer, the both two component they have miscible to each other, then only we can get that the homogeneous mixer. For example, if you assume as a salt, actually there is a common table salt plus water, we can get in there is a common salt plus water, we can get there is a homogeneous solution or clear solution. It's a clear solution. This solution is a homogeneous mixer. Okay, there is a homogeneous mixer. And next is a heterogeneous mixer. See that heterogeneous actual there is a water plus there is a sand or there is a kerosene. Okay, kerosene. This cannot be miscible to each other. So that's why we can get there is a heterogeneous mixer. This is a cannot be miscible. Okay, this is a cannot be miscible. That's why we can get it's under the category of there is a heterogeneous mixer. Okay. So this is a very basic fundamental. Initially we studied there is a what is a matter. Matter is occupied in the particular space and a particular mass. That matter is classified in two types. One as a there is a physical classification and another one is a chemical classification. That physical classification is based on that physical state, that is a classified in further three types. One as a solid and liquid and gas. Okay. So the solid liquid gas depends on that molecular or ion interatomic distance or intermolecular distance. There is a classified. Solid as a more close to each other and gas is a more far to each other. So then another one kind of classification of the chemical classification, that is a further classified in two types. One is a there is a pure substances or there is a pure substances and a mixer. That pure substances it's a fixed ratio of masses of constituents, and the element as a constituent consists of element and compound consists of only one type of atom, and a compound is a more number of atoms or the containing more number of atoms. The mixer also is classified in two types. One is a homogeneous mixer and another is a heterogeneous. Homogeneous is salt plus water, and similarly there is a milk plus water, so etc. So that kind of that initial basic fundamental of that the some basic concept of chemistry. Let me go to that future video one by one. Thank you to all. If you like in this video, you can subscribe and share your friends.